Good morning. It is
I
time.
couldn't find a good picture of the living room without like having a bunch of characters in it, but I might just.
I cannot believe I taped that with your voice on it. That was not the intention. I don't know how that happened, but it did. All right, so here's the deal. Dang, and that sucks too because like I was gonna. Oh man. Anyway,
I would have just shut my mouth if I had known.
I didn't know that.
I couldn't find a good picture of the living room without like having a bunch of characters in it, but I might just go with you say what's up to the people too. It's all good.
I mean, you can hang out with you.
And that's crazy. Like I eavesdropped on us. It's all good, man. I don't know if y'all knew this or not, but there's a new chicken wing in town.
All the niggas rapping about the same old thing. I've been coming through with the same old gang. Ain't shit changed except now I got a name. Got it out the mud, but we got no stains. Cold ass ninja with a gold ass chain. The girl call me daddy, not my government name. Money on my mind, got them bands on my brain. Let me tell y'all about a nigga I know. The nigga.
Yo, let me ask y'all. I really want to know if y'all gonna get the Taco Bell chicken wings. That's a whole nother discussion in itself. But I heard before we even get started that there was a question of the day. So let's not delay. Let's go ahead and get this thing popping. Good morning. It's the new blurred order. So, Stephanie, I heard you had a question of the day. What's popping?
I do. So, according to you all, the Legend of Bobby Womack is about a very minor side character who only had a couple lines in the movies and was not really like a major person. So I'm curious, if you were tasked with producing a television show about a very minor side character from a major property, what property would you choose, and who would be the character that you would choose to explore the story of?
Oh, wow. Okay. So the question is basically, that's a good question, actually.
That's a good question.
The question is, if I'm correct, it's if we could take a side character from a major movie or from a different movie and make it a show, who would we choose? And is that from any franchise or does it matter? Or what's going on?
Any franchise.
Okay, all right, cool. I can dig it. Well, let's run with that then, man. But so that's the question of the day. You heard it from Steph. Who is your side piece main character that you want to make the person of the actual top of the casting call? Good question. We will come back to that at the end of the show. But as for right now, I just want to say what up to the crew before we go ahead and get started. Talk about some stuff from Boba Fett because we learned a lot and we got to meet a lot of folks this week. I don't know if y'all are as excited about me. As me about now having a Black Wookie to add to the list of Black folks that we have now in all these universes. But let's go ahead and just say what's up to the homie Yaz real quick. Yaz, what's poppin', girl?
Oh, hey, what's up?
We good. All right, look like you awake over there. What's going on, Tyrone from Tatooine?
What up? What's going on?
Hey, I'm good, man. I'm good. What's going on, Ty? We good. Uh-oh. All right, Ty is in the
bounty hunter got him.
He's in the shower.
The bounty hunter got him. All right, cool. And Steph, we already said what's up to you, but say what's up, Steph. Steph is at Ty's house today. Just house sitting.
That's his background usually. That's his house.
Scandal.
That's the background.
I am not. This man has a wife.
I don't even put
that
people out
they
there.
are lying.
All right, cool. Well, look. I don't want to waste no time, homeboy. All right, look, first and foremost, this week's episode of Boba Fett is what we're going to focus on. And we all saw the episode. It was completely ridiculous. We did all do our very own version of a review. So if y'all haven't seen it, I'm going to encourage you to go over to YouTube right after the show and check out all of the reviews. There's one that we all did something on, but there's one actually that is kind of getting us in a little bit of steam, a little bit of trouble, and I don't know why, but folks are up in arms about it. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but for now, let's just say it seems to be pretty unanimous that the overwhelming majority of us loved this episode. Tyrone, let's get some positivity, man. What was your impression of this episode of Book of Boba Fett, homeboy?
No, I'm more on board than I was after episode 1 for sure. You know, and I was on board episode 1. I'm like, okay, I see them laying groundwork and stuff, but episode 1 didn't really do it for me. But this had some story. I think we might be getting, you know, in my opinion, and I feel like Daniel's probably going to come and stomp me, but I feel like we might be getting, I don't know, too much of this Tusken backstory. I don't know if like whatever payoff we get from it is going to be enough to justify like almost entire episodes being, you know, being focused on this story. You know, and who knows? Maybe we'll find out with this story why Boba Fett's all of a sudden such a nice guy. That's going to be interesting. You know, because he's like dancing and hanging out and shit. Like, you know, that's cool. Different Boba Fett from what I know, but you know, I'm sure I'm going to get curb stomped by some book information, and I'm fine with that. That's cool. But I mean, I enjoyed it. Like, you know, the action in the episode was great. You know, we got to, like you said, we got to meet, you know, we got to meet Black. What up, Black? We got to meet Black. We got to meet some new Hutts. You know what I mean? So it's like, you know, that's, I like where it's going. It gave me better feelings about the direction of the show.
Bet. Well, I keep hearing you reference somebody named Daniel. We may as well bring him on in. What's going on, Daniel? You good, brother?
Oh, you're muted.
Yeah, damn.
Oh, I'm sorry. Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah. Good to be here.
Of course, we good, man. Daniel is going to be our resident Star Wars expert for the day. Why? Because he goes deeper than the movies and the shows, but also into the thing called literature. Yes, believe it or not, there's literature. So yeah, man, by all means, man, anytime, man, step on in and correct us. Yes, you seem to like the episode pretty much, man. What's going on, man? Talk to us, man. What? I know what your favorite parts were, but tell us again, man. What's going on?
I thought that episode was fucking fire. I'm totally digging, you know, like the backstory of you know, of Boba becoming a Tusken Raider and, you know, getting his honor and everything back, you know, and like becoming the badass bounty hunter that we all like love and you know, can't wait to see kick some ass. So I'm really excited about like him, you know, basically getting his own staff, making it himself. That was a really cool initiation for him. I thought that was pretty dope. I don't know, this season of Book of Boba Fett, I feel like I have so many questions, but I feel like I'm gonna have more, and like some of my questions are gonna be answered. But I'm definitely very, very curious to find out about Hutt Nation and like what the fuck, like who's in charge? You know what I'm saying? If these are the cousins, like who's in charge of Hutt Nation? You know what I mean? So I'm really curious to see more Hutts, and I'm kind of like a little weirded out by how close these twins are. On top of that, because like I don't know if that's like her leg or her thigh he has his hand on, but it's just like, and look at his face right here too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's my bitch. Like, I don't know. This relationship is just a little fucking weird for me. It's a little close, but yeah, I'm definitely excited to see where it goes. And dude, fucking chocolate chewy. Yes! Oh my god, it looks so raw. And the salt and pepper hair too, like they killed that shit. So I don't know, I'm fucking digging this episode.
Yeah, yeah. It's funny. Me and you both came up with the chocolate chewy thing, man. Steph, I heard that you loved this episode so much that you gave it a 2 out of 10, if I'm not mistaken. On the scale.
It just wasn't about anything. It wasn't about anything. Nothing happened, and the present tense action and the flashbacks don't link in any way. Like a flashback is supposed to give us some context about what's happening in the present. They're just like, we'd like to do these 2 moments. Let's do them both in the same episode. It doesn't have to make sense. What does his backstory have to do with the Hutt twins coming to challenge things now? Like, it was interesting. I will say that parts of the backstory were interesting. It was kind of fun to watch him teach the Tuskens how to ride bikes or whatever. I insist, though, they did not need to spend 45 minutes making the stick. That montage was so long.
Oh, all right. I have to say, bro, when I hear Steph talk, I understand why people hate us for our reviews. Because I'm like,
what's so funny?
I'm like,
oh my god!
Everybody else is literally like, yo, it was great. You know, we met the Wookiees. You know, there's new Hutts. Steph's like, nothing happened, like at all.
There was no character growth. I just don't understand.
They put like a stupid thing with another stupid thing. Like, why? It doesn't even
I've actually thought about this.
this because you're right from someone who doesn't know the lore. And that's the problem, is this show has not done a good job connecting people who don't know who Boba Fett really is with what that old version of Boba Fett was. Because Boba Fett was the best bounty hunter in the galaxy. He was a solo dude, and he didn't give a fuck. He would take you out, and that's it. And so to have a character go from that to, I'm going to be a leader, and I'm going to take care of people. I'm actually watching out for all these different groups. That you're going to have to take some kind of thing to make him stop and do that. And that's what this Tusken Raider montages are, I believe, is just him the first time in his life. I'm not on the run anymore. I'm not on to the next hunt. I'm stuck here. Like, this is the first time he's ever got knocked on his ass, and he just has to sit for 5 years, 6 years.
Wow.
And so it's really making him reconsider. Like, when he's sitting there in the stand and he's watching them play with the dogs and you know, the kids and everything, that's him like taking a step back and going, wow, you know, there is something more to life than just this. And then he sees these other people, these colonizers coming in and hurting these native people. And the Tuskens are like, we've been here since there used to be oceans. They came and destroyed all of it. We don't have anything left. This is what we have. So that's what's changing his mind. And that's what's leading him down to that. I don't want to just rule through fear. I want respect. I want to do this right. So I do agree with you, but it's because they expected everyone to just know that Boba Fett's Boba Fett.
So that's a great point. That's a great point. Steph, go ahead.
Somebody please explain what happened to that boy, because since he came out the Scantron pit, he has been a very weak fighter. Very weak. Like, y'all keep talking about he's the baddest bounty hunter in the universe, and I'm like, Houseway, where?
Well, to be fair, he used to have a bunch of armor. I mean, he does now, but he was strapped up. Like, he basically was like Inspector Gadget. So he didn't need to do a lot of physical fighting. He was just a quick shot, and he was a really good aim.
He was Batman. Okay.
He was, exactly. But now he's having to learn how to do a little hand-to-hand.
Can we go back, Stephanie? What did you call the Sarlacc?
Oh, the Scantron pit.
All right, and so you're now getting a glimpse into what it is that's bringing us a little bit of online hatred this morning. Daniel, since you're here, bro, I'm so happy that we have like a lore guy, like a literature guy. Like, I've tried to read the book about like Dark Bane and you know, and
the rule of two
some
and all that.
these other side characters. But I ain't gonna lie, like from a Star Wars standpoint, I'm pretty much a theatrical and cinematic guy. I'm just gonna keep it 100, and video game guy for that point. But can you answer for me, since you're here and you're one of those people? What is it about being a Star Wars fan that reads books that makes you a whole asshole? Because, like, there's folks online. My homegirl Stephanie just wanted to put her honest opinion out there. I didn't think it was that bad.
Hello, I'm Stephanie Ray, and this is my honest review of The Legend of Bumbleclot. That's not what it's called. Are you sure? Yes. Oh, hold on. The story of Barry Fizz.
No!
The tale of Biggie Fails.
I'm taking your nerd card.
Yeah, so we end up getting hate comments like this one from Michael Hill, who you can find on Facebook right now if you wanted to, and send him a nice message. Michael Hill is saying, why would you review something you obviously don't understand? Yeah, Stephanie, what the fuck? Like, why are you gonna sit here and review some shit and you don't even know what the fuck going on? The Scantron pit? I mean, I wouldn't go to an Ariana Grande concert and wonder why I didn't like it or like get it or whatever. Like, the issue is you have no frame of reference to Star Wars. Like, first you need to watch episodes 1 and 2, and then Clone Wars, then Revenge of the Sith, and now we're moving on to Solo, Rebels, and Rogue One. Then the original trilogy, then the Mandalorian, and the last you went blah, but fuck off. So ignore them. Yes, please. Talk.
This is my problem with Micah. And Micah, we as Star Wars fans have to understand this. It ain't Steph's job to know all that lore. If you want this set up in the show, you have to show it in the show. Once again, going back to my thing, like, we didn't show Boba Fett as this ruthless killer who didn't give a fuck about nobody. You didn't show that in the show, so you can't expect her to realize that all this is character development. Is it? Yeah, absolutely. And all of us can see it. But people who don't know it, they don't. And you, like Micah, you can't expect her not to do a review when literally there's movies that come out that are brand new properties. And what do people do? Fucking review them. No one has 30 years worth of lore when, you know, a brand new series or IP comes out, but we still review it. It's the show's job to communicate that. And that's where I do say, like, there's an issue.
Yeah,
Right.
I agree, 100% agree with Daniel. And that's the point I'm trying to make is like, they're just not doing a good job with executing the technical things of the show. Like, yes, there's obviously some things that are changing his mind about being, you know, the baddest, even though for whatever reason, you know, millions and billions of people dying wasn't the thing that changed his mind. Like, he was like, yeah, sure, I'll work with you, Vader. What's up? You know, that's a whole other thing. But like, you know, I look at this show and I'm like, what was the moment where he was like, shit, my whole life has been wrong, and now I'm going to change everything about myself and move forward? Like, I can't see that moment, and maybe they haven't shown it to us yet, but I can't see that moment right now. So right now it just seems like he's just chilling.
Yeah,
like
but to me, it was when he was sitting in the sand watching the kids, and then and the train came. That was the moment.
But like, that's
the moment,
like, after
he was
everything.
Like,
that's my problem with the show, though.
I get it.
After
I get it.
Everything,
because
that's
he never
the
stopped.
moment.
Because when you got to think about like the Nazis and stuff, once you get into that movement where you're just doing constant thing, you're not thinking anymore. He from the moment he was a kid, he wasn't thinking. He was just on to the next thing. This is the first moment where he got knocked on his ass and he's stuck. You don't have any technology. You don't have the slave on your ship. You don't have all your technology. You don't have the holonet. All you have is these motherfuckers that you can't talk to because they don't speak the same language as you. And you got to figure that out. And so I feel like this is the first time where he actually has thought about that.
Well, and I see you and I understand, and even to a certain extent agree with you that this is the moment that they want us to believe is the moment on the show, but they just
they didn't do it.
I feel no weight, and like I don't, and maybe this is a combination of just like the showrunners and even the actor. I don't know if the actor's strong enough to convey these kinds of emotions, these kinds of thoughts and stuff like that. So what we're left with is just like hanging out with some people I don't know in the sand, and now they're teaching me how to use sticks, and there's not we're not doing a good job. And you know, I obviously I'm exaggerating, but
I don't think they're having him talk enough. Like, you're not really thinking about, you don't get to really know what he's thinking, and it's because Boba Fett's supposed to be strong and silent. But like, homie, if the entire show is riding on him and we don't know what he's thinking or saying or feeling, there's no show. So,
right. They're not showing us or telling us. We're just like, you know, Daniel, you happen to be equipped with more lore than most of us, even the above average Star Wars fan. So you're able to kind of, you know, put those together based on your experience. 100%. They're not giving it to, and you know, I'm like, okay, I could see it, but it just wasn't working for me. But somebody who's coming in and who's just like, maybe they like the Mandalorian, they're gonna see what this Boba Fett show is all about. They're like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, I don't know what's happening.
I want to jump in real quick, man, because I feel like I disagree with Tyrone.
It's okay to be wrong.
For one of the first times, I feel terrible about it though. I don't want to disagree with you, Brad.
No, go on. It's all good, man.
I honestly feel like the whole notion, this whole thing that's going on with the Sand People. I'm sorry, we don't use those terms anymore.
No, that's derogatory.
All right.
What are they rating? They're not rating. They're just Tuskens. They're Tuskens. They're not rating anything.
Well, they don't rate. Really, it's y'all are encroaching on us.
Yes. Yeah. These are basically the Native Americans of this story.
Yes,
that's 100% what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And I love that
they
about
have
this.
Boba Fett going in there, not Luke, not some white guy. They have Boba Fett, a Maori guy going in there, and that dance at the end, that Maori dance.
They killed it. They killed that dance.
I didn't upload that.
Yeah,
I forgot.
Austin was getting to it. He was like, "Okay, Boba, get in." He was like, "What's up?" They're crying dancing and shit.
I forgot about that, man. But yo, I'm seeing it. Like, first of all, I kind of disagree with both of y'all on a couple of counts. I feel like this Tusken story, especially with the boy, like the young boy, is like this is his Rocky Balboa moment right here. Like, this is him running up to train for Ivan Drago. This is him going through a metamorphosis. I mean, first of all, he tries to escape, and old boy's like, nah. Like, the other dude's like, nah, hey, this motherfucker trying to escape, y'all. He was like, God, what's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? And then when old boy kills the big monster, and then the little dude claims credit, that's like him basically becoming Uncle Buck, bro. Like, he's he's having an internal metamorphosis right now.
Yes,
where and also, bro, he just had a goddamn near-death experience. I mean, he was almost swallowed for 1,000 years. And he might have reflected a little bit when he got down through the esophagus into the liver intestine.
once you hear the Sarlacc lore, that shit gets even worse.
Yeah, like I know. Yeah, you get digested for like 1,000 years and that kind of thing. Yeah.
While it's ingesting you, it's injecting you with toxins so you don't try to run away like what Fett did. And that the toxins link you with it. So it starts getting all of your memories, all your thoughts and feelings, and you start getting some of its.
Whoa.
So, yes. So that also might have played a part, but they're not going to really show that yet or say that. And once again, we don't really know all these different things. But yeah, as you're getting digested by this thing, it absorbs your memories and you get some of its. Like it makes a connection with you while it's digesting you.
You know, that makes sense. That explains why the very first scenes were flashbacks. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because I guess the toxins maybe have taken place. But to double back and agree with Tyrone, I guess that's why we didn't get that, because those that didn't read those details didn't know that's what's happening, right?
Yeah,
100%.
and also, Vince, I want you to know, I do understand that these moments are the moments that are supposedly changing his mind. What I'm saying is that Boba Fett's entire life, we're supposed to believe that he never went through a moment, you know, a tough moment, you know what I mean, where he was like, maybe I should be nice to people or whatever. Like it's this moment, what the show has failed to do, in my opinion, has failed to add the gravity and weight to this moment that makes it like, yes, this is a life-changing situation. Because like as far as we know, you know, he's just been going around the galaxy just, you know, kicking ass. And I mean, like his armor's all scarred up, which tells us that he's gone through some shit.
Oh yeah.
That he, you know what I mean? So it's like, why is this moment the moment that he changes his entire way of being? And that's what I ask the show. Like, why? Tell me why. Like, that's what I keep waiting for is like this moment of discovery where he's like, wow. And if it's just the moment where he sees the kid happy that he, you know, that he gets to tell his people that he killed a monster, then okay, I guess. But it's just like that was it. You know, that's my feeling on it. It just seems small.
I agree. They need to have something. But once again, they got to have the dude speak. He's got to let us know what he's thinking and feeling, because all those flashbacks with him with his dad's helmet or him on the planet Camino, those are him thinking like, okay, this is how I identify myself. My dad was the world's greatest bounty hunter. I am the world's greatest bounty hunter. This is who I am. This is who I was always meant to be. I'm a clone. I'm not even a real son. Like, this is what I was meant to do. And now for the first time, he's like, but was I really?
Right.
And like you said, they're not doing a great job. We got to hear him say it. We got to hear him or think it or whatever. We got to hear it from him.
Well, I mean, that was. I feel like in this, we're kind of we need to like piece. You have to watch The Mandalorian to see that one scene where he's basically dad checked, and the chick's like, "What's up, sperm baby?" You know what I'm saying? You wasn't even a real son. You just a clone. He ain't your daddy. He your sperm donor, but like completely like went off. And that was a black Mandalorian too, that young lady, a black girl Mandalorian. So I think that it's fascinating, but I digress. Me and Tyrone could go back and forth today about character development. I think that it's going well. And I also think that if you're watching the Book of Boba Fett and are unfamiliar with it, then maybe it doesn't give you enough lore to kind of, you know, clue you in. But those of us who watch every single movie are kind of clued in on it. I mean, the dude that wrote Luke Skywalker and that brought in Han Solo out of all of the other bounty hunters that was sitting around Darth Vader, I think that we know how much of a badass he is, even though he did end up, you know, kind of just, you know, falling into the pit after, you know, just, you know, being knocked out by Luke. But that's a whole other story. I was hoping that, Daniel, you could help us maybe get some insight on some of these new characters that we got. Like, I don't know who this is, if they have any significance or anything in the story, but I definitely want to get your help on learning who some of these characters are. But real quick, man, we got a well-dressed gentleman here in our presence who haven't had a chance to really speak to yet. First of all, big up to you for looking clean, my man. What's going on, fam? You're muted. Your mic's muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, man. What's going on there, Ty?
Not much, man. Just saving the planet. Men in Black, man. You know what we do.
Well, we know we got limited time with you, man, and we appreciate you. And it looks like you you got Mr. Bentley with you in the back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Hey, nigga, give me some coffee.
He already got you breakfast. We see that.
Yeah. Well, real quick, man. While we got Daniel here, first of all, thanks for joining us. We know we only got you for a limited time. Personal reasons, guys. Check it out. Read the timeline. But yo, I watched your review, and you was the only one to appropriately reference the Black Krrsantan. I just want to know what it is. Krrsantan, Crevassier. If I was Steph, I don't know. I wanted to get your opinion, since we missed it on this episode, and also just get your thoughts, man. We've been talking, and I know you've been hearing us. So, what's going on, man? What's on your mind?
I think I share the sentiments of a lot of the other panelists. I think that this episode was better than the first. It definitely gave us a little bit more of the backstory of what went on with Boba when he disappeared in the Sarlacc. So I have some concerns. As much as I like the episode, I don't know if you guys got this, but I got Dune vibes. I got a lot of Dune vibes from this episode. I do know that George Lucas was a huge Dune fan. And from my understanding, also took the, kind of created the Star Wars storyline based on the Dune movies, or the Dune movie. So when I see him in the desert with these Tuskens, it gives me that Paul Atreides, scene where he's in the desert with the Freemans, and they're kind of like going through this process as well. Like he has to go through, combat to be welcomed into the group. He's on a journey. He's almost this savior. And the storyline and the premise kind of is very similar to what I saw in this Boba Fett episode. I love Finnick. I can't say that enough. I feel like I have a G-MILF complex at this point. You know what I'm saying? Because she was she 60 something? Yeah,
just about 60. Nah, she's 59, right? 58? Yeah.
Sorry. 58, 59.
50 beautiful, whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever she is, man. Like I'm enthralled with her. Her attitude when it comes down to how she reacts to situations. This is something we've seen from old Agent May in a lot of her stuff, is that she don't play no games. So she's always, got this stark look about herself, and she's always ready to kick some ass. So I think the choreography in this episode was really good. The Tusken soldier, I don't even know her name or his name, or the person behind the mask.
Right.
But for some reason I do have a strong feeling that is a female underneath that. It is I kind of gathered that it was a female underneath there. But she's a badass, man. Like I'm not gonna lie, I would pay to see a movie of her kicking ass throughout the movie. Goddamn it, that I would love to see it. But overall, I think this was a good episode. I just have some concerns in regards to how the story moves forward. The Black Krrsantan, he's somebody that we will see more of. I mean, him and Boba have a history, of fighting gladiator style against each other and stuff like that. So we'll see how this turns out. But overall, I definitely enjoyed this second episode.
Daniel, is that how we? All right. So first of all, that's what's up. I don't know if I necessarily completely agree with the Dune vibes.
I mean, the vibes are there, but I kind of liked it. To me, it was the same thing as like Logan. If you remember the Logan, the X-Men movie, that was a lot like Unforgiven. So I kind of like when they do that, where they pay homage, but it's not a direct rip-off. I don't know. I kind of liked it. But Black Krrsantan, man, it's about to go down. That Wookiee's bad.
Yeah.
So he's been in the comics for a while. He's worked with Boba Fett. That's how Boba Fett knows him. Like with that stare off, those are two motherfuckers that know each other. They've both worked for Vader before, and then Black Krrsantan actually was on Tatooine when Obi-Wan was there watching over Luke, and he actually kidnapped Uncle was it Uncle Owen? Yeah,
Owen.
Uncle Owen. Yeah, he kidnapped Uncle Owen, and Obi-Wan and him got in a fight. That's why, if you see in the comics, he has a scar. That's from Obi-Wan. So I'm assuming that this ain't the only show we're going to see him in. I think we're going to see him in the Obi-Wan show. We might see him in the Ahsoka show, and I think that's another thing that these shows are having a problem with is when Disney bought Star Wars, they bought it for, what was it, $4 or $10 billion with a B. Like, that was a lot of money they dropped down. So they're not just trying to get that one sequel trilogy. They want a MCU property. And right now they're trying to give us that Iron Man from 2008. And it's like, homie, we've already seen Thanos before. Like, we want to see the whole thing. We want to see all the Jedi, everyone. But that's not how it works. So they're having the problem is like, how do you give everyone Thanos? But how do you also have that buildup? Because even Marvel can't get away with that anymore. They tried to do Iron Man again. It was called Ant-Man, and it didn't do as well as Iron Man 1. Let's be honest. So it was good, but it didn't do as well. And it's the same thing. Like, you can't recreate that. So how are you going to do that? But that's what they want to do. They want to have a huge universe.
Daniel, I slightly disagree with you because I actually like Ant-Man better than I like the first Iron Man movie. Like, to be honest, Ant-Man was I mean, I'm not gonna lie. I can't remember like his name right now. Like the cop. Not Paul Rudd, the Asian cop. I can't remember his name right now. With the magic,
the one that
like always, dude.
up.
I swear to God, like off
The one
him.
that showed up in WandaVision.
And his like henchmen that like be telling everyone about like the stories, you know what I'm saying? Like the Spanish dude, like that made that movie, you know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, if you think about it, we have so many fucking memes just from that movie alone because of how funny it was. So Iron Man, yes, it was really badass and it was action and like it's what we needed at the time. But I think like Ant-Man, like when it came out, it didn't get as much hype as it did because like we had everything else. Like I still think Ant-Man was a good movie.
Exactly. But that's what I'm saying. You can't come out, even if the movie's quality is good, we've already been there. We've already seen the magic. You get what I'm saying? So as audience members, we're ranting and raving, even though it might not be realistic. You get what I'm saying? I get what
you're saying. Okay.
To them, they're like, well, we're doing it. We're doing the exact same thing. But to us, we're like, yeah, but we're ready for da-da-da. We've already seen Luke in The Mandalorian. Why haven't we seen Luke yet? And that's the problem.
Well, last week, Daniel, sorry.
Go ahead, my bad.
And I was gonna say last week I talked about how I think that Star Wars needs to get away from the Skywalker saga completely.
100%.
And just put all these if you want to keep doing stuff on the side, keep doing stuff, whatever, here and there. But I think the meat of the Star Wars franchise from here on out needs to be something completely different and something completely new. We need to because right now we're sitting here and we're having to justify a lot of Boba Fett by what has happened over the last 30 and 40 years. That's a problem for the show. Even though we don't matter in the grand scheme of things as a couple people, but I would say there's probably a lot of people who are having these same conversations of like, yeah, but we learned in this book this thing and we learned in this movie this thing, and it's like that's not a way that you're going to have to be able to sustain building these characters. You can't just give people, here's a look of this person, and because we expect you to know all the lore, we're not going to give you anything else, and we're going to give you like a little bit of stare down, which is cool for some people, but others they're going to be like, he just doesn't like hairy creatures, or you know what I mean? Like it's people don't know this. So I think they need to they need to do a better job of treating it like it's new.
100%. And that's what I said about Steph. Steph was, as much as my nerd people want to like rant and rave about it, she's right. It's the show's responsibility to communicate anything that it wants to communicate. If you want people to have this feeling, you have to do an accurate job making that happen. And that's where it's fallen short.
Well, I mean, I take a little bit of issue with what Tyrone's saying, because I mean, if we don't use the movies, then we don't have no shows. Like, I mean, that's what Boba Fett is, one of the most popular characters that didn't have a whole bunch of lines.
I don't quite understand what you just said there. Could you elaborate?
All right. Well, you said, they need to move away from the Star Wars movie stuff.
The Star Wars, the Skywalker saga, and the characters involved in the Skywalker saga.
But so they need to move away from the original, but all of it's canon, right? It's all canon.
Well, yeah, but they can, like right now, there's books coming out that are about the High Republic era, which is rich in awesome story. and lore and like goes deeper into Jedi and stuff like that. And there's so much there they could be working with. And I think that they eventually are going to start to release some shows. But what I'm saying is, because all of the characters that we're seeing in Boba Fett and even the Mandalorian, stuff like that, are anchored in that original trilogy from, that came out in 1977, the first one, and it's all anchored there. So it all has to make sense based on this. So it's like, then we get into the issue with, like you were talking about after the first episode, like Boba Fett, looking like he's aged quite a bit, even though in the timeline of the show he hasn't, and different things like introducing characters with no context whatsoever and just being like, okay, we're cool with this person because we know that they exist in this story and they had a run-in with this guy back in the day, and then a run-in with this person. Because of those things, it's I think kind of hamstringing them when it comes to telling really good stories. Go ahead.
I think so now, Tyron. I think what your critique is 100% correct for right now, but what they're doing, and I think they're doing a good job of it, is in The Mandalorian with regardless of what you think about the actress, the lady from the New Republic, the commando girl. I'm trying to think of her name.
Cara Dune.
Cara Dune. Like, they Fennec Shan. How many people stand Shan now? Like,
they're doing
legit.
There are moments where they're doing a good job.
And she's been in The Mandalorian. She's been in The Bad Batch, which is the animated TV series. I'm just talking about just in Star Wars. Just in those two. And then now she's in the Book of Boba Fett. She's got her hands everywhere in Star Wars. Yeah, she was in, and that's the thing is they're including all these different people, like the Pike Syndicate, the Train. Those aliens have been in both the Clone Wars TV series, Rebels, and the Bad Batch, and they're some nasty ass gangsters who are in competition with the Hutts. So what they're setting up is basically Fett's pissing off every criminal organization there is, and then there's going to be a reckoning.
Right, but also like Boba Fett at the moment is like the weakest part of this show. I mean, we got all these interesting characters that could be a part of any other show. Like we could have a Fennec Shan's show.
That might be the point.
So you're looking at it as like
they're pulling them back, exactly. And then what we'll have in 3-4 years, we won't be worried about Boba Fett. We're going to have the Fennec Shans and all. I think that's exactly what they're doing. Just like how Marvel started with, you have Iron Man, you have the Incredible Hulk, we have the Avengers, and then it was, well, what about the Guardians of the Galaxy? Have y'all ever, and I think that's what this is. I think the Mandalorian, you have this, you're going to have the Ahsoka show, you're going to have Obi-Wan. I think what they're doing is they're branching out all these different tendrils and they're connecting them all, and it's all going to lead to like a big MCU thing, which personally I think is going to be Thrawn.
Well, and that's the thing. I hope it, when they pull it off, they pull it off well. And I hope that I get to come back and say, man, I was wrong, and they really nailed this. And I love the different directions that they went. But I just think as long as they have things connected to these characters that we know from the Skywalker saga, it's going to be difficult to tell stories, to tell 100%. New stories well. And they'll be able to pull it off. And I'm gonna watch the hell out of Ahsoka. I'm gonna watch the hell out of Obi-Wan, and I'm gonna watch all that shit. But there's going to be a lot of times where we're going to have these conversations about, all right, fill us in on the information that the show should tell us that we don't know.
And there's going to be people who won't like it. Like, you got to think about it. They did the same thing with the sequel trilogy. If you think about it, they had Han, Leia, everyone. And by the end of those 3 movies, all them motherfuckers are dead. All of them are dead. So it's kind of the same thing. Like they're just pulling them back quietly while setting up newer characters to the forefront.
Yeah, I hope the sequel trilogy mention was not to make me feel better.
No, I didn't say they were doing it great.
No,
but I think that's their goal.
Let me jump in here real quick, Tyrone. We always can respect your wrong opinion. It's okay. So we're cool with that. But I do think that what the hard job is getting all Star Wars fans, because what I learned via Steph's review this week, inadvertently, is that we are not monolithic at all. Like there's like literal Star Wars fan denominations,
of course,
and so you're never going to please all of us. But you got to try, and I think that what Jon Favreau is trying to do is merge these universes somehow, and by bringing the classic characters from like the original movies and mixing them with the literature folks, and then kind of having us all have a campfire session with each other. I think that that's the attempt to kind of consolidate all of these different universes. But before we get too deep into that, because we already know that Tyrone and Steph both hate Boba Fett now.
Well,
now.
Hold on. I have
we
to.
know that they both hate Boba Fett.
I have to address that because I don't. I absolutely don't hate this.
He hates Boba Fett.
For what it's worth.
I feel like I heard that.
Nice callback. No, I feel like for what it's worth, I like it. I think, and I hear everything. I hope that one day it stops being about how can we connect this and blah blah blah, and it's just about let's make a great Star Wars show. And I don't think right now that's what it's about, and that's what kind of like, you know, I hope we go into a different direction at some point.
Okay, well, let me ask you this: like everybody here on the panel, real quick. I mean, I've never done this before, but let's take a quick poll, real quick, by show of hands. How many of y'all like the direct or are enjoying the Boba Fett show right now? How many of y'all are digging it?
Well, I mean, enjoying it. I'm enjoying it.
Enjoy it. Okay, all right. Well, yeah. Well, shit, man. I mean, two things can exist at the same time. Like I can be having fun and also knowing that it's not really a great show, but I can be enjoying it.
I liked how we all raised. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. Yes.
I said I liked how we all raised our hand and Stephanie's just sitting there, just stone cold face. And then after, when we were laughing about it, she's like.
Yeah, well, we know Stephanie's not a big what was his name, Bobby Womack fan.
Bumba Clock.
I just want it to make sense. Like literally, I feel like I'm watching, you know, a presidential election and then a cooking scene for 45 minutes. Like, what do these two things have in common? Link it together, make it make sense. It really felt like I watched two completely different episodes of a thing. They did not give me any context for, and here's how this flashback is associated with the first 8 minutes of the show, which were in the present tense.
Well, let me just say this real quick. As a Star Wars fan, as a Marvel fan, as a fan of all of these different things, you know, Star Trek, all of these. I know you can't. It's hard to, you know, you're not supposed to like both of them, whatever. But it's a weird thing, like introducing people to something that you're already so well versed in, right? Like you're sitting here, like, what do you mean they're not telling you? Like, we just saw Boba Fett, like. Flip a dude on the back of a shield, and how does he even meet Fennec? And there's two Hutts in this episode, and Stephanie, she keeps saying like, but nothing happened, like, but I just don't understand, and there's this, that, and the third. So I mean, I can get frustrated like when I see folks like, who's this Peter Parker guy? You know what I'm saying? And who I can't believe that they brought it. You know, like I can understand when folks are like unfamiliar with it, it can get frustrating. But I mean. It feels like there's so many folks to please. But real quick, I want to move forward, man. In the spirit of trying to keep things short, I wanted to ask you to help us hopefully get a better idea of who some of the folks that we met this week are and why we should know who they are in the first place. So we've already started off, and you kind of given us a little bit of insight towards the Black Krrsantan. Evidently, him and Boba Fett is like BFFs. It's like a buddy cop movie here, man. It's it's Bad Boys Tatooine. But like, how do they? I mean, like, why? I gotta say, man, for me, the Black Krrsantan. Am I saying it right? For me, he's like my baby Yoda this season. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh shit, there's a Black Wookie, y'all. There's a Black Wookie. The petition works. You know what I'm saying? Like, we've been begging for this all, you know, and like and now like I'm transfixed on what happens with him. But it is funny because Ty made this interesting comment in his review where he basically says this, Daniel.
It is awesome to see a Wookiee who is not just making crazy noises, but looking fierce and ready to rumble.
The funny part about it is, I think he does just make crazy.
Like that's what they do.
Yeah,
that's the way they speak, bro. Like that's it.
I think for some reason Ty is thinking that he's gonna end up being like, well, what are we looking? What's on the schedule? What's on the schedule?
Like, hello.
Your mic's muted, Ty.
Yeah, Ty, you muted, bro.
Nah. It wasn't that. It was that when we saw that whole scene, right? He gave us a lot of energy without saying a word. Like, yo, like the nigga just gave us a look. You know that look that your parents give you when you know you doing some shit you ain't got no business doing? That's that look. That's that look like I'm gonna fuck you up if you touch that shit one more time. Just touch it. Just go ahead, touch it, because I want to fuck you up in front of all these people. That's the look that he gave, and that for me was a different feel because with Chewbacca got all of that before he, you know what I'm saying, and all of that kind of stuff, and everything like that. This nigga just gives you the look and then kills you. Like all he was waiting for was the Hutts to give him the word. That's literally and did y'all notice that when he rolled out, when the Black Krrsantan rolled out, it seemed like he rolled out from behind the Hutts little platform. But then at the end of the scene, somehow he was standing right next to Boba Fett. Did y'all not peep that? Like he was standing right, he was literally right. I was like, how did he get up there so fast? Like what did he
It's part of Star Wars lore is that Black Krrsantan is a close talker. So he likes to get real in your face.
He likes to get close.
Yeah. So
with them long legs, he can close the gap. He can close
yeah, he did that. He did that quick, man. But yeah, man, I'm feeling Black Krrsantan, man. I love the vibes.
Yeah, well, I just hope you don't get disappointed because in the next few episodes, when he opens his mouth, instead of being like, hello, governor, it's gonna be like, you know what I'm saying? It's coming back, bro. That's how they talk. I hope his voice is deeper. I hope he's like he's like a deep, very white. I want to see if they like change his voice. They already changed his complexion, so I want
to hear James Earl Jones.
Yeah, man. I just wonder, like, if this Wookiee has to sit and go through the trials of colorism with all of the other Wookiees. Like, how come the light-skinned Wookiee was in all the other movies? You know what I'm saying? Like, I wonder if that's like a whole thing that they have to deal with amidst that community. It never happened. Like, I just knew that Steph was gonna be like, okay, this week I'm actually pleased because I saw a dark-skinned man with luscious hair. I mean, it happened to be like a Bigfoot, but it was definitely pleasant to see us represented on the screen. I just knew she was going to eat it up, but evidently that wasn't the case. So that's who the Black Krrsantan is. Could you give us a little more insight? Now we already talked about this individual. I don't know if there's any insight towards whoever this is. Evidently, according to a post we saw recently, this is who played that character. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean, though, Ty, that this character is either female or male. I don't even know how the Tuskens, do they lay eggs? I mean, I don't know if they reproduce.
She is a she, and I think she's the mom of the little kid.
Oh, wow.
That's my own theory. Have they said that? No, but that's what I think. I think she's the mom of that little kid that he keeps like being uncle to.
Right.
I think that's what's going on. And I think the whole show, like stuff's not happening. I think they're leading to this. I think what's happening is in the future or the present, he keeps pissing off all these other gangsters, and all these other gangs are like, we're going to come for you, dude. We're going to come for you. I think at the end of the season, there's going to be that big moment where everyone at one time is coming in on Jabba's palace, and the Tuskens are going to be the ones to bail his ass out.
Oh,
and that's never happened. Tuskens don't worry about off-worlders. We only worry about us. Y'all are the colonizers. And I think they're going to come over and they're going to save them. I think that's what that's leading to.
Okay, we have an Avengers Assemble moment coming from the Star Wars universe pretty soon. That's a decent theory. Anybody else have any insight towards who this is? I do not. I didn't look it up or nothing, but I can say she kicks major ass. He, she, it, whatever it is. When I saw them, I was like, holy shit. Like, they've got Donatello from the Ninja Turtles in a Sand People costume. She was like everything. Like, yo, badass, complete badass. But I digress. A few more characters, bro. Could you help us understand? Maybe
Steph's got a finger, though. Steph's got a finger. Oh, go ahead, Ty.
Go ahead, Ty, first.
I was just going to say, does anybody else get Rafiki vibes? Yo, like when she started swinging that shit, did you not get Rafiki vibes?
That's so funny. Oh my god. She was smacking him with it for sure. Like, for sure, bro.
I got Rafiki vibes. I was like, Rafiki.
Yo. Oh, Simba. You know what I'm saying? That's what's going on right now. All right. Hey, that's funny, bro. That's funny.
That's funny. I had no clue it was a lady in there. I was assuming that the character was a dude the whole time, but I did think the same thing as Daniel. when first off, the way that little kid was allowed to run around being bad and nobody stopped him when he was just like throwing, I was like, okay, this is somebody important, son. Like, this is the prince of these steampunk desert wanderers. But then when he came back holding the head, and the person who clearly was in charge went over and gave the guy water and was like, all right, thank you for saving my badass son, because we both know that his punk ass did not kill this monster. I was like, okay, like, this is the king and that is the prince. Clearly that is his child. So I'm with Daniel on having thought that.
That's a good theory. I think I'll wait and bait the breath to see if that's the truth. But that would also make it so that there's some sort of monarchy within the Tuscans. I don't know if that's lore or not. Or
it's more tribal. So I mean, there would be like a chief. So it would be set up like that.
Okay. All right. 10-4. All right. So we're getting a little bit of insight into these folks who, once again, bro, Marvelous in Marvelous style, Tyrone, they've taken a side piece of this movie, the Sand People, and they've made them into like a main, like we're interested in them now. Like I had no interest in them. I just thought that they was a bunch of Chicanos in the desert that are looking to strip your lowrider.
And they like to walk in a single file line. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And like
I think you're confusing them with Jawas. I think your opinion racism is showing. You're talking about stripping their stuff.
Right.
I am not. I am absolutely not. I know Jawas, they like devices, they like mechanical stuff. In this particular episode, Boba Fett comes up to them in a speeder, and before he can turn around, they're already trying
they're beating the shit out of
they're already trying to like take it apart.
Yeah.
All right. Now they don't do that in the first, like when in the Obi-Wan portion of episode 4, but in this particular episode, they tried to sell the tires off of that.
I don't
think they were going to
sell it. They were going to beat it up and then use the metal. I don't think they were going to do like Jawas. Jawas think it's profit. To them, they're like, we use this pipe for something else.
Like when they stripped the Mandalorian ship when he left it there for too long. They stripped his shit.
They thought it was like a beast or something like that.
I just wanted to call you a Star Wars racist, Vince. That's all.
Nah. All right. Well, fair enough. Well, anyway, that's what's going on in Tuscans. I'm just glad that they get a major role. One of the things that we're watching right now is these characters that were sidebars in all of the other movies become more prominent, and I love that. I love it. Bruh, you got to tell us what's going on with the twins, the kissing cousins. Now, give us some background on Hut Nation. Let us know what's popping, bro. Are they really out for avenging Hut's death? What's popping? Give us some insight.
It doesn't have anything to do with avenging. It's just, hey, that's Hut space, and we need our territory back. It's all about greed, and it really is like what Mob Boss with the Huts. They have like a council, but then you have people who are kind of on top, and Jabba was that dude. He was kind of, even amongst the Huts, he had his corner, and he took care of his corner. And you don't fuck with Jabba's corner. So now that that's gone, you have these twins, which they weren't in any of the movies or any of the books. These are two brand new characters.
Okay.
And I'm from Putnam County, and that still was too close for twins. That the way they were rubbing up on each other, I'm like, nah, man.
I feel like they're holding each other up. Like, you know how you have two, like kind of like bookends. They're bookending each other.
Yeah,
otherwise, they're just gonna fall right down, and you're just gonna have two people laying on their side, talking to you like this, trying to be all scary and shit.
Jabba was bigger than both of them, and he could hold his fat ass up. Like, why are they touching? Is this like what I want to know? And like he's like on her leg. You know what I'm saying? Like arm all across.
Yeah. Like feeling a rub, yo.
Yeah. And then he's like, he puts his arm up and then he'll put it right back down. It's like, yo, you're a little too comfortable, my nigga. Just saying. That
is definitely the mid Netflix movie, Hand to the Knee. I've seen that in my time. That's recognizable. We know what's going on there, bro. But who knows, man? Maybe they own some Game of Thrones type shit.
But they're 100% going to come for Fett, because the thing is with the Hutts is you don't ever come between them and their money. With Han, that stuff happened like 5 years before they finally got him in carbonite. They never gave up, because at the end of the day, like, if you come between us and our money, principle alone, we're going to get your ass. And that's what it is. Like, hey, okay, all right, Fett, you want to say you're this? All right, we're coming for you. And
I do have to say real quick, before we move on to another character, that as much as I love I after watching all of the background movies for Star Wars, I know that Jabba the Hutt originally, despite whatever's been written since then, originally was a two-footed man who walked, and that's why when they did the creation of the Han Solo and Jabba the Hutt scene, they had to make it so that he stepped on his tail as he walked around because he originally was just a two-footed man. But now he's a big ass slug, bro. I mean, he was a big slug. And I always wondered, as much as I love the Jabba the Hutt character, as much as I love the concept of the Hutts, why the fuck is everybody so afraid of the goddamn Hutts? They're literally big ass pieces of shit with no way of moving. Like, you could literally slap him. Leia, all she needed was everybody to turn around, and bam, she choked the shit out of this motherfucker. So, like, why is it so like how do they garner all of this power? Is that deep voice have some sort of telepathic energy? Like, why do folks fret when they see these Hutts coming, Daniel? What's the big deal?
Well, I mean, okay, so in the old canon, I don't know how real it is now since Disney bought Star Wars, but in the old canon, Hutts can still move. They might not look like it, but they can fucking move and put a hurting on you. They're just big, and they kind of move like a worm or like a snake, but they choose not to. And then the thing is, with as far as like why people fear them, it's just because for thousands upon thousands of years, they have owned the criminal network. Like they got it early, and they just never let that shit go. You know, It's kind of like, what if the Dutch took over the world and just no one ever said, hey, this whole like owning everything, let's stop doing that. Like they kept those claws on. And that's why they're afraid to let their territory go. Like, what the fuck you saying, Fett? You're coming. No, this is our spot. It's all about like,
Okay. All right. Well, that makes sense. All right. Well, I mean, so these are new characters. That's good to know that we didn't miss out on these in the books or something.
Nope.
So we can all learn them together. Here's somebody else that I'm curious about, man. Did we, for whatever reason, you mentioned that these characters are in the books. I didn't know that Star Wars also had the Balchinians from the Men in Black. Because that looks like he's definitely a Balchinian. So what's the background on them, bro? I don't remember them from any of the cartoons.
Okay, so the reason why you don't remember them is because that mask that they had on.
I figured.
They always wore the masks in the different shows, and so they're the Pike Syndicate. They're the ones who deal with spice, so the drugs. And whenever Han Solo in a Solo story, when he went to that planet and they loaded up all the drugs, and then he went off and had to jet out the thing, that was for the Pike Syndicate. That's who he stole the drugs off of. And they're drug runners. That's why they were smuggling. And they're the biggest drug running operation in Star Wars.
Could you give us some more insight into spice? And like, what is it like? Is it like Galaxy crack? Is it? I mean,
yeah, no, 100%. It's Galaxy meth. That's why they love it in Tatooine, because it's backwater nation. Like, yeah.
Okay. So that's because they did bring out the spice. And I don't know if y'all peeped that or not, but I was like, oh shit.
That Tusker was like,
yeah,
he was feeling it.
But it is like,
officer, I know my rights. You know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, I need my Fourth Amendment to be protected right here. Yeah, what's up, Tyrone?
No, I was gonna say George Lucas was pretty open about Dune inspiring Star Wars early on, and about those original movies being sort of he was inspired by Dune. He was a huge fan of Dune. So this reference to spice is not accidental. It's not like it's not a coincidence, and it's not like he's like, oh, we're in the Dune universe, but he's just like, I want that too.
All right. Well, yeah, man, these are most of the characters. I think there was a couple other things that happened, but for the most part, like these, I think were some of the most impactful items. And I think we are learning once again right now that Boba Fett is a multidimensional character. I have predictions. I did put them out there on my review for those of y'all who didn't check it out yet. But I believe that what we're watching is basically a prequel to the
100%.
moment that Boba Fett and the Mandalorian originally encountered each other in the Mandalorian episode. We're basically watching all of the events that lead up to the moment that we see right here on the screen. You notice what he's wearing under his armor. You notice the weapon that he had when they originally met, and there's some significance behind this weapon as well. Is that something that's in the books at all? The Tuscan stick that he got.
The Gaffy stick.
Yeah, like what?
They're basically building that lore up in this show. So we all knew that like the gaffy sticks were important to the Tuscans, but we never knew why they were important. So now it's showing like, no, that's their tool for their everyday life. They use that for cleaning their animals' teeth. They use it for fighting. They use it for digging. It's literally their connection to staying alive in this world that's constantly trying to kill them.
Okay.
Yeah, it's their one lifeline, you know. So yeah.
All right. Okay. Well, that's what we're looking at, in my opinion. It's literally just we're gonna find out, and this is what's gonna be one of the most exciting episodes. I predict this. I'm saying it right now. I'll probably call this back. 3 or 4 episodes deep after this, the Mandalorian is gonna show up. He's gonna have Baby Yoda. He's gonna have like it's gonna be a crossover.
I don't know about that.
It's gonna be because that's what the scene was when they originally met. It was with Boba Fett coming out of the blue saying, Mando, where the fuck is my gear, bro? You got my pop's gear.
Nope.
And
I think that's going to stop. I think the second you see Mando riding away with a bike from episode 1 of season 2, when he had Boba Fett's armor on the back of the bike and he's riding away, I think it's going to show Fett watching him and go, oh, I need to get my armor back. And then once you do that and everyone's like, oh, everyone's caught up now.
Okay.
It'll be in the present. I think this lead up is just to the point where we know, oh, so that's when he saw Fett, and then now we're caught up. I think that's all it is.
Damn. All right. Yeah. That's another prediction. I don't know. We could both be right. Actually, we can't. One of us will. To the death we'll duel on this opinion. But yours makes sense too. I ain't gonna lie. That makes a lot more sense now. Actually,
Vince, I'm gonna be real. You could destroy me. So to the death. No, I'm turning sideways and disappointed. Like I'm using my natural skinniness to my advantage.
Nah. Tylene, man, you're on mute, but take it off, bro. What's going on, man? You gotta go. You just chiming in. What's going on? Bro?
Nah. So basically, look, I was gonna say that I think you're right about it being a crossover. I don't think you're right about it being Mando. I think at some point, they're gonna introduce a character or characters that will appear in the next series, whatever that may be. If it's Obi-Wan, then cool. Or if it's something else that they decide to pursue, then that's cool too. But I do definitely think that just like Marvel Universe, this will be a lot of stuff that's tied into each episode and have something to do with another series.
Bad Ty, did you watch the animated show Bad Batch that just came out recently?
Well, let me listen.
Because there's someone we're waiting on.
Yas has been a starch supporter of Bad Batch from its inception, and she has beat into my head to watch it. Now I have tried to do her the justice of listening to her and watching it, but it seems it's a very hard watch for me. Every time I try to watch it, I wind up just doing other shit and just not coming back to it. So I'm not saying it's a bad show, but it has been very hard to keep my attention. It's been hard. So I will finish it at some point. I just don't.
You could have just said no. Damn.
No, I think
Lies.
Nah.
You ain't gonna finish it. You know you're not.
No,
I'm waiting on Omega. Right, Yaz? I'm waiting on Omega.
I'm waiting for
Omega. Thank you. Like 100%. I've literally had to explain this to Austin to the significance of why that was so important and why it came out in the sequence that it did. Because he feels the same way about Bad Batch. He wasn't invested. He's like, this is fucking stupid. This is for kids. Blah blah blah. And I'm like, you guys have to understand. There's literally like David said, they're setting us up like Marvel. You know what I'm saying? Like all of this is not going to be good, but collective together, it means something. So Omega is a prominent character, and I cannot wait until they give us a little bit of insight as to who she's going to be. I can't wait to see her in live action.
Yep.
I will. The one thing I will say about that statement that you just made is, unlike Marvel, it's not all good and then connects. Right now, and my opinion on the Bad Batch is one thing, but right now we're like, hey, this is going to be good because it's going to connect to blah blah blah. We're not saying this is. Some of us aren't saying this is so good, and also it connects to these kind of things.
Yep.
Like we're they're missing the make this the good thing part. And Omega, really? I hope it's not Omega. I hope the big reveal is not Omega, because man, she was part of the reason I couldn't stand watching the Bad Batch. I'm gonna be like, God, you're gonna like. I really want to enjoy watching Boba Fett. Like,
she finally got better at the end. It took her all the episodes.
It's her voice that they can't stand.
Yeah.
Like they all were just like, her fucking voice is so annoying.
It's the New Zealand accent. Like, where are you from? Like,
No, it's not.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need you to not be
Australia.
from the Shire.
Yeah. It's her character. It's her character for me. It's like, the constant like, stay here, Omega, and she's like, all right. Then like she fucks off like immediately. Like, goddamn, like just.
But you got to remember that was Ahsoka at first, though. When Ahsoka was that young, she was the exact same way,
and it was the worst version of Ahsoka.
Yes,
like, she
but
finally got
had
good.
the same complaints you did until she grew up. When she comes into Boba Fett, she's going to be fully grown because she's the same age as Fett.
Only difference is Ahsoka's a badass and Omega is a brat.
I mean,
she gets her way. She's guarded by 4 dudes that have the same DNA. It's weird, but it's cool. I'm here for it. I like the notion of her basically being Boba Fett's sister. I mean, that's basically what's going on here.
Yeah.
So maybe she'll be introduced, but I don't know about her prominence. Last question about this, man. Then we're gonna move on and start wrapping up and talk about a couple other things, and we still have to address the Steph Ray question of the day. For those of y'all, just in case you forgot, what's your side character that you would make into a main role? We're gonna get into that before we leave here today. But is there anything that we're missing with the political realm that's going on here in Tatooine in Mos Espa? You see how Boba Fett basically had to go and check the mayor and was like, yo, bro, what up? Where's my tribute? You know what I'm saying? And the dude was like, well, look, me coming to say what's up to you is tribute. He was like, what the fuck? And then, they go over there and there's this whole, that's when we learn first that the twins are back in town. Is any of this reigning true to the lit? What's going on?
Yeah. So basically what I would use as a analogous or whatever is, so when Jabba was in control, it was kind of like Chicago back when the original gangs were kind of in charge of it. You had a few people in charge of a wide swath of an area, but they had tight control over it. But once you took out those main gangsters and it's all these little gangs vying for power, now you have Chirac where everyone's after everyone and it's just constant chaos. Right now, everyone wants their piece. Everyone sees blood in the water because Jabba's dead, so everyone's trying to make a claim. So we don't really know because everyone's saying it's theirs.
So like, but do the Hutts do they run the government? I mean, like the fact that there is a mayor kind of fucked my head up to begin with.
So originally it was kind of like how drug kingpins work or cartels work. We're not officially in the government, but we own it. It's all in our pocket. We don't let you do anything unless we say it's okay. That's what it's like. Or like Big Pharma is in America. They're not going to make a law against Big Pharma unless Big Pharma approves it. Kind of like that. Like we own the politicians. And that's like this mayor. Right. The mayor, he's acting tough, but he's like, I didn't do it. You got to think about who's actually wanting you dead. That mayor's just a pawn. He's just a pawn in a bigger scheme.
Okay. All right. That makes sense, man. Well, I think most of my questions are answered, and the overwhelming majority of us, other than Tyrone and Steph, that basically hate Star Wars, we're enjoying what we're seeing, and we're looking forward to the crossovers coming up. Whether or not they go more into the Luke saga or not, we're here for it. And I have a whole thing. I ain't gonna lie. Like, this is sidebar, and then we're gonna move on. But at some point in time, we may discuss. I mean, I know that this is science fiction and it's not real, and we're supposed to just completely suspend reality. But the fact that there's 2 suns around Tatooine is not necessarily a real. You can't do that in the universe.
We have binary systems all over the place.
There's a ton of them. Yeah, no,
there's a ton of binary systems. But I'm curious as to like whether or not like these planets is a year the revolution around both suns. Or is it a revolution around one sun?
I think will there be different positions and stuff? That's a cool question.
I think it actually depends. I think it actually depends on the planet. Yeah.
Yeah. I straight Neil deGrasse Tyson y'all ass.
Ready astronomy nerds at.
Hey, that's outside my.
We do need to discuss the orbital dynamics of a binary system. I think that's absolutely something we should do.
You're the one that worked for NASA.
Forget the fact that gravity is 9.8 meters per second squared on every planet that they arrive on. It's all good. You know, that's one thing that I actually the only Star show to address gravity disproportion, believe it or not, was Orville from Seth MacFarlane. Is the only show, and that's a parody. So I digress.
You know what's always been my biggest problem with Star Wars is that every single fucking planet has one biome. How in the world do you tell me there's always, oh, it's a desert planet, oh, it's a forest planet, it's a
right.
Where's the planet with everything?
right. It's like the whole planet. When the Ahsoka was battling, it was the whole swamp planet. When you go to the Dagobah system, it's the whole planet is a freaking swamp. Like it's a whole, like the planets are basically geographical
zero biodiversity. Zero.
Like yo,
Stu is right in the comments. The Expanse does a really good job with gravity disparity.
Woof. Who said that? Sue? Yes.
Yeah, Sue. What up, Sue? Hey, we're friends now.
Sue.
Yeah.
Sue. Yo, you at our heart right now. May you live, Beltalowda, out there in the outer space. Yeah, all of y'all out there in series, y'all be careful out there for the Belters. But yeah, man, look, keep it coming. We're feeling it. Nobody is feeling this more than Stephanie Ray, of course. So make sure y'all keep it coming because she wants to do more reviews on Boba Tea. But let's go ahead and keep this moving for a little bit. Just to kind of start wrapping things up here, guys. A couple quick news. A couple quick. What's the word I'm looking for? Developments. All right. First of all, before I forget, because I forgot at the outset of the show. Once again, guys, going forward, we will not be broadcasting from our independent pages anymore. It makes me nervous. I'm not gonna lie. So what I need y'all to do is to make sure you hit the get reminder, the notifications, and make sure everybody is following, whether you're watching this live or on a replay. Make sure you follow the Facebook page, the YouTube page, and the Twitch. We're on Comedy Hub still, but this is where we're going to be viewed. We will share it on our pages, but it will be the shared, not the actual live broadcast, so that y'all don't have to go. For those of y'all that are friends with me like 4 or 5 times on Facebook, you don't have to see like a whole host of like me going live every Saturday. That's number one. Number two, I don't know if you noticed, but we have a new start time now. We are now starting at 10 a.m. as opposed to 9 a.m. to give us a little extra because, listen, most of us on the panel work late. I mean, look, 4 out of 5 of us on this panel are stand-up comedians, and we work sometimes late at night. I was in Ocala last night. I came all the way back home to do this. I shouldn't have, but I did. So that extra hour makes, bruh, that extra hour be pulling up, bro. Let me tell you something right now, man. That hour, Steph has got a whole different energy this morning. You know what I'm saying? And she ain't saying much, but that's because she doesn't know much. But she looks refreshed. She feels refreshed up there at Ty's apartment. Let me stop. I don't want to start no rumors, man. That's not what's happening. But
Lisa was worried about us.
Ty's here too. Ty's on the way somewhere, man. Did you want to head out, bro? Because I know you about to, you want to say your piece real quick? If you don't mind, if you are, I wanted to see if maybe you can comment on this next subject that we got real quick and then head on out. Real quick, guys, I don't know if you heard, and this is speculation, and I honestly know that this is not true, okay? But the concept of it is intriguing to me, and I just wanted to get you all's opinion. As you all know, we did lose one of them, and it's been referenced throughout this show, one of the major characters in the Avengers squad. Of course, as you know, I'm talking about the one and only Iron Man. Now, Iron Man is no longer with us, but I just recently saw an article that said that his role could be reprised by none other than Mr. Ethan from Mission Impossible. Yes, I'm talking Maverick. I'm talking Mr. Tom Cruise himself, Mr. Scientology. And I was just wondering if this is attractive to you guys. We talked about some other characters being other characters, but I just was curious as to whether or not this is something that we here for, or if we're like, hell nah, bro, keep your hands off my RDJ. Ty.
You said,
oh, go ahead. Well, Ty looks like he's he's
checked in
the scene before he drives by. Yeah, man, did you hear me, Ty? Because I know you got to go, so I just want to get your opinion.
Yeah. What's now? What am I supposed to be talking about?
Tom Cruise. the possibility of Tom Cruise as
Nah, absolutely not.
Not at all. For real?
Absolutely.
Okay. Well, let me say this. What if it's Tom Cruise, but from a different Earth, from a different? What if he's Robert? What if he's Tony Stark, but he's like Earth 818 instead of 616?
All right.
Would we accept that?
It wouldn't matter. It wouldn't matter what
Parkers?
Earth. No, it wouldn't matter what Earth he came from. Like it's no Tom. Like I think we've talked about this before. If you're going to reprise Iron Man, Tony Stark's role, I would suggest you go with someone we've never heard of. Don't bring a Tom Cruise or anybody else that of any note. To first of all, Tom is good at missing in action movies. Outside of that, Top Gun.
Uh-oh. Am I the only one not hearing Ty?
Yeah, I think we lost him. Maybe the connection.
Ty, you're muted for some reason, bro. I think you may have hit the mute button on accident. Oh shoot, but he is going in though, bro. Whatever.
His phone has an anti-Tom Cruise filter. As soon as you start talking about it, it just goes on mute.
I think Tom Cruise heard you, bro. The Scientologists are everywhere.
Hello.
Yeah, there you go.
Be careful what you say on the internet, man. You know the Scientologists own the internet. we missed what you were saying. You said you think Tom Cruise. We hear you now.
I think he's on a delay at this moment.
Yeah, man, it's all good, bro. Let's let you do what you was doing real quick, man. For those of y'all that don't know, man, not to get too personal, but Bad Ty. Well, I was gonna say he's attending a funeral, but it sounds like he's about to check somebody on the corner.
That sounds like when somebody pulls into your spot at the gas station.
No, he sounds like his girl just pulled up without enough money, and he's telling her to get back on the corner. Like, listen, chick, what was you about to say, Tyrone? My bad.
Oh no, I was just about to say, because you said real quick with this Tom Cruise thing.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say nope. Just
damn.
Yeah, just nope. Yeah, dude is like. I mean, we don't like it's just not great first of all, but like also just outside of like Marvel, outside of being an actor and stuff, he's just so problematic. And with being part of Marvel comes a lot of scrutiny. And it's like that the headlines, whatever headlines that would come out of digging into Tom Cruise and like, rehashing his past and stuff like that would just not be worth it. Like just not for a little bit where he shows up as a variant. Like there's so many better ways you could do it.
You feel the same way, Steph?
Very, very much. I mean, Tom Cruise is a joke to me. If you're going to have him in the MCU, have a quick one-off where he gets killed in a weird way or he plays some absurd character that nobody really cares about. But an Iron Man variant, no. He does not have the gravitas at this point to pull that off. Don't play games with Iron Man. Don't do that.
Yes, you feel the same way?
Yeah, like I don't know who should play it. I think more. Okay, so you know who would be a good Tom Cruise? I think like. I mean, my bad. A good Iron Man.
Maybe Robert Downey Jr. would make it.
Sorry, my bad. You know who would be a good Iron Man? I mean, it's got to be someone that has like finesse. You know what I'm saying? Like they're slick with the mouth, but they also got style. You know what I'm saying? Like Tony Hawk is a philanthropist. He's a billionaire. He's a playboy. You know what I'm saying? Like he's got a lot of different roles to him. So it's got to be someone who's well like diverse and all that. I think the kid who plays Eggsy in Kingsman would probably be like my choice as for a new Iron Man.
Are you talking about my
Taron
man
Egerton?
Taron? But he's Wolverine. He's going to be Wolverine.
Is he?
Nothing's confirmed.
Yeah, exactly. Nothing is confirmed. But I'm just saying, like either or. Like you got to think about it. Like it's like someone's got to have the suave of like Tony Stark. You know what I'm saying? Like
next, she's gonna say Ryan Reynolds.
No, because he's too old. Like Ryan Reynolds already has so many prominent roles. Like he's fucking Deadpool. Like we love him as Deadpool. You know what I'm saying? He looks nasty as fuck, but he's still hot in some kind of way. You know what I mean? Like his personality makes him sexy. So it's just like that's what you need. You need someone that can like pull the Iron Man role. You know what I'm saying? I think that Eggsy would do it.
All right. And I guess that's how you feel too, Daniel. I know you're the Star Wars man, but I know you know some Marvel stuff.
You cannot have my Iron Man be someone who made a fool out of themselves on the Oprah Winfrey show. Like, you just can't do it. No, I need someone who's serious. And plus, just like Tyrone said, Tom's got way too much baggage. Way too much baggage. Yeah, and he would come, he would want certain things. Not just that, with Scientology, he would bring a bunch of controversy. But what I think they're going to do is just like Steph said,
Yeah.
Because a lot of people don't know this. He was originally supposed to be Iron Man.
Yeah. Right.
So I think they are going to do a Doctor Strange. He pop up for like a minute as a gag because he was supposed to have been it. I don't think he's going to be like long term. I think it's just going to be a variant gag while they're going through the multiverse.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
I think that's credible. And I do think that Tom Cruise doesn't play second fiddle. Like you don't see Tom Cruise as a feature in a movie. You know, if he's not the head, the main guy on the cast call, he's not. You know, I don't see him doing all that. And I honestly think that's. I read in an article, Tyrone, that one of the reasons why he didn't want to play Iron Man is because he had to wear a helmet. And he was like, "But my face," you know what I'm saying? My face.
Yeah. Well, I one of my favorite Tom Cruises of all time was when he showed up in Tropic Thunder. So sometimes he'll do a good bit part, but yeah, he's if you don't want to show your face,
if we get him dancing in Tropic Thunder, I'm down. Like at the end of the movie when he's dancing.
Yeah, but he's also basically one of the most powerful men in a cult. So it's like, you know, I don't know if we want to open that Pandora's box.
I could dig it, Steph.
We all have to have seen the articles that are like, here are the people who were originally supposed to be cast as the Avengers, or here's who would have been the Avengers if this movie was made in the 80s. I love what Daniel said. I would be thrilled if in Multiverse of Madness we get some glimpses at some of the kind of jokes about what the Avengers could have looked like, just for like a quick minute or two, like, okay, how absurd and terrible would it have been if we had cast these people instead?
Yeah. And I hope it's like oh no.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, like I love that skit that everybody sent me on my birthday with the dude who's like, "But you guys don't have the Guardians of the Galaxy? No, it's the supervisor of the solar system. You guys have Aunt May? No, we got Mima June. It's the Green Goblin, Purple Scroll. You know what I'm saying? Oh damn it, Spike Lee! It's Stan Lee. Like I love that skit. So I could see where there's a universe, but I don't hate. I like Tom Cruise movies. I could see him making an appearance. But yeah, I think that the role of Tony Stark as ongoing, continuing as a replacement, it couldn't be Tom Cruise. He's too old, number one. Number two, he does suck too much air out of the role. And yeah, the Scientology, the baggage, and all of that, man. And he has that enough. My vote for a new Iron Man, one of them, it would be Timothée Chalamet. I think that he might make a good Tony Stark. I don't know. I'd like to throw his hat in the ring real quick, but we already know, fuck all that. We got a new Iron Man coming in Riri Williams. So we don't even need to sit here and guess whether or not it's going to be one of these white boys, because we already know that Steph, that's right. Steph is and so she has a new cosplay character to be happy about. But yeah, so man, go ahead.
I have a quick question for you since you brought up the kid from the Dune. Did you guys see the movie Don't Look Up on Netflix?
I did.
Okay, so the kid from Dune is in there, and he looks dirty. Like
that was the party he's supposed to play. Yo.
Well, I know, but like I don't know, like seeing him in Dune, as like a fucking prince, and then seeing him in that, I was like, whoa, this dude.
He's got range.
I like that, but it was just like seeing his face. I don't know, like if I could see him as Iron Man, though. You know what I'm saying? Like. After seeing
here y'all go. Oh my God. It's once again we're having the Twilight Ed can't be Batman.
100%.
If you see somebody in one role, they can't. Now I'm not there's one moment in time before we get go a little further, and then we're gonna start wrapping up. The question of the day is coming right up. But there's one moment in time where I did prejudge somebody because of their role in a movie where I didn't want to see, and it was a lady named Julianne Moore. Julianne Moore is this redhead who was in Jurassic Park 2, right? 3. Excuse me, 3. 3. No, 2. It was 2. It was 2. Jurassic Park
Lost
2.
World.
Jurassic Park 2 with Ian Malcolm. And I hated her in this movie, Yaz. And it was not her fault. You know why I hated her in this movie?
Why?
Because the movie that I saw her in prior to Jurassic Park was Boogie Nights, where she was taking dick from Marky Wahlberg. She's talking about splooge in me and all this other crazy stuff. And I couldn't see her as anybody amidst the Jurassic Park universe. As a huge Michael Crichton fan who read all of the books, I was like, you got this harlot in my Jurassic Park. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see this. And it was wrong. I shouldn't have done that. You know, like it's not Juliana. It was just a role. It's a job. You know what I'm saying? But that's what happens. Sometimes we end up like getting folks etched in our head as one role. But I truly believe, and we're gonna talk about this in a future week, not now. But I truly believe that this Batman that we're seeing getting ramped up, it's got some potential to possibly. It's look. I don't know, man. I saw recently Zoe
Kravitz.
Zoe Kravitz in the Catwoman outfit, and I gotta say, man, I'm starting to get pulled in the Team Catwoman direction. I ain't gonna lie, bro. That's a whole other story, though. Let's keep this going, man. Let's create moving things on. One last topic, real quick, man, and I just wanted to go ahead and get. You know what? Forget that. We can talk about that next week. Let's do this. Let us now go ahead and address the question of the day that Stephanie so poignantly posed to us earlier. And if you don't mind, Miss Steph, could you repeat for us, and then we'll go ahead and go around the panel and get all of our answers.
Yes, and I have my answer ready. Inspired by the show that we discussed today, which focuses on a small role, a side character who really didn't do or say a ton in the movies, but apparently left a large impact on some of us. If you could choose a small role, a side character from any major franchise to star in their own television show, who would you choose and why?
Ooh,
and I've got
man.
mine, so I can.
Okay. Well, why don't you lead us off then, Steph, since you already know who yours is.
So I would choose SHIELD agent Miss Phyllis Jenkins of Camp Lehigh. If you recall, when Iron Man and Captain America went back in time to get the Pym particles, and they went into the elevator, and there's this black woman looking at them real suspiciously that later turned them in, played by Yvette Nicole Brown. That is SHIELD agent Phyllis Jenkins. And I would love to see her adventures and hijinks of catching white people doing stuff they're not supposed to be doing at SHIELD headquarters back in the 70s.
Yo, that's a good one.
Yeah,
I can tell. I don't know. I hate to call on you if you're not ready. But Yaz, I don't know if you had one.
Okay, so mine's like a kind of tie, actually.
Okay.
So
like which one? Are we talking Tyrone or Bad Tie?
I'm talking about like the multi first.
All right. Y'all hear my phone ringing?
So,
I'm
gonna say,
okay.
Anyone want to get that?
Hold on, that's Tom Cruise. Hold on 1 second.
Oh.
What's up, Tom? We're in the middle of something. We'll hit you back. All right, go ahead. Yes, my bad.
Okay, so my fantasy would be probably the first one would be definitely I want to see more of Agent 19. Now it's in my head.
Oh, okay.
I want to see it. I want to know like why that watch was so prominent to her and why, you know what I'm saying? Like that was like he risked everything just to get that fucking watch back. So I'm very curious to see what is happening with that. And if you guys don't know what I'm talking about in Hawkeye show, they showed us that his wife was actually an agent of SHIELD. She was Agent 19. So, and he recovered that watch back from Maya, the henchman. So I thought that was pretty badass. And then my next one would be the Hutts, these twins. Like I have so many questions. I know, and some of them are kind of like wrong, but you know, like I have so many questions. You know what I'm saying? As to like where the fuck they came from, who's their parents? You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck do they do in Hutt Nation? What does Hutt Nation even fucking look like? You know what I'm saying? Like, I have so many questions. So that's mine.
Those are good questions. I don't know if Daniel, can you answer some of those questions?
That's the thing. They have kept the Hutts so kind of hidden as far as like how that hierarchy works. We know there's like a council. We know it's kind of like a mafia family.
Yeah.
But as far as like how those intricacies work, we really don't. We know evidently you're supposed to get permission before you kill one.
Yep.
But as far as like anything more than that, no. And I think it's supposed to be that like mysterious like that on purpose. So we kind of it's supposed to add suspense. I don't know if it's really doing it, but that's what
it's doing it. I got a lot of questions. Like, why are they kissing cousins?
Yeah.
They're a little
since we got Daniel, if you have one, man, is there anybody in particular that you may want to see take the wheel in their car where they're a passenger?
Yeah, Nightcrawler from the X-Men series.
Oh,
yeah, dude. I feel like just you have someone who looks kind of devilish, but he's he was raised in the church when the church took him in and raised him. That dichotomy I really like. Also, I think fans would freak the fuck out because instantly, if that was a Disney Plus show, everyone would be like, Mephisto's coming, and I would instantly start it all over again, and I would not have that motherfucker show up, not once. He'd destroy everybody. He'd never show up. He'd say some shit about his dad and never pop up. But that would be mine. Would be Nightcrawler.
Oh, just so you know, I think that Ty, who's not here right now, thinks Mephisto is going to pop up in Boba Fett. Like he just knows Mephisto is going to be somewhere at some point. Tyrone, what's going on, man? You got is there a character for you?
Yeah, so I want to see a Marvel show about the guy who showed up in Shang-Chi and in Spider-Man Homecoming, who just goes around, just hypes up heroes. Like he was the guy on the bus who was like, I'm coming at you live from the bus. And in Homecoming, he was like, and like, he just like, how does this guy find himself around so many heroes? I want to see him just hyping up random heroes and just having a good time. I want to see that guy.
Okay. All right. I could dig it. I like the guy who's just okay.
Yeah, where's his TikTok? I need to find this guy's TikTok.
I want to know his social media stardom.
They should do that. Like you see how they're doing with Carlos and the Trust the Bro thing.
Oh yeah,
that's the mafia, the trench coat.
The tracksuit mafia.
I don't know. I get these outfits and these mafias mixed up, but yeah, man, like they're making it a thing. That would make sense as marketing, right? For them to have this dude be an actual character and have a TikTok and to be like leaking stuff or like dropping stuff with a different perspective. I think that would make sense, man. That's dope. I have one. And I fortunately have the luxury of being able to control the screen, so I was able to upload this real quick. But if I could take a side character, Steph, from any of these movies and give them a main role, I gotta go with the Kang, bro. I gotta go with my dog T.I. My dog T.I. was in Ant-Man, bro, and I would love to see this dude get his own spot. I think that whole little troop, all three of them folks, the dude, the other guy, I can't remember, the one that ended up being in Suicide Squad. Yeah. I think that these three dudes, bro, need their own show. I'm so heartbroken to hear that T.I. may not be in Quantumania. Evidently, he's reported to not be in it at all. But oh my God, could you imagine like T.I. and them riding around in that, in the van and
the
like
security company?
The whole series there.
100%.
Bro, I don't even know his name on the show, and I tried to Google it, and they should call him T.I. He should be a rapper. He should have a baby mom that was in an R&B group growing up. Like I would like his show to look like his T.I. Family Values show, but in the MCU. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm here for it. You know what I'm saying? So give us some T.I. Canon and some lore to start. Make a comic book about T.I., bro, and I think it's gonna go hard, man. Who gonna do it harder than Grant Hustle? Give him superpowers. I don't know. I wasn't gonna say Photon, but she's already getting a main role in the Marvel I think she's gonna be in Ms. Marvel, and I think she's gonna be a main character in the Marvels too. So Monica Rambeau, come on, bring it on. We ready. But yeah, man. Look. We all got our selections of who it is that we want. My opinion. Oh yeah, okay. Seriously, Black. Welcome back. This is from Man.
Yeah, I did. I guess you didn't like mine.
Who did? What?
Yeah, I said Tyrone didn't go. Yeah, I fell asleep during mine. It was.
She doesn't register. Dang, good grief. Tyrone, could you do it again? Nope.
I can watch the replay. Don't worry.
I think it should be Tom Cruise.
Nah. Somebody doesn't like Tom in the comments.
Fuck Tom. Someone doesn't like Tom, and then that other guy that was like trying to get on you, Stephanie. They were like, "Fuck that guy too." I'm loving the comments today. You guys are like on fire. Okay, fucking love it.
Yeah. The comments are dope. But real quick, guys, we want to hear from you. What character would you take from the side, from the bench, and put on the field and maybe give the ball and have run into the end zone? Go ahead and make sure you give us a comment, or you can go to the link tree and give us a voicemail, and we might even play it on the show. As a matter of fact, give us a video message and we'll play it right here and we'll discuss, or maybe even we'll do other commentary. All right, man. On the way out, guys, I just wanted to give us a couple minutes as we wrap up to just discuss other things that we wanted to discuss on the way out. I know Tyrone and I have been glued to Expanse as it's now on its final season. I know that's dope. It sounds like sounds like Yaz had a chance to watch Don't Look Up, which was cool. I know Daniel's teaching and doing a lot, and I know Steph is running a lot of stuff. But real quick, man, as we wrap up, anything on the way out that we're watching that you recommend? I know Steph had a recommendation as well about something. I'll lead it off. Me and Tyrone are knee deep in a Expanse. This episode that we just recently saw was developmental. It was groundbreaking, actually. We now have a merger between the inners and the outers, so to speak, at least allegedly for right now. And I gotta say, Tyrone, what's her name? Oh shoot, her name is escaping me right now. But the girl who doesn't smile, the one who she's a belter, but she's going
Kamina
up
Drummer.
What's her name?
Kamina Drummer.
Kamina Drummer. She's becoming one of my favorite characters, bro.
Dude, Drummer's
used to be
a badass, yeah.
But yo, she's becoming one of my favorite characters. So, what's up, man? Talk to us about what you're loving about The Expanse, and then I'll go to Yaz and Steph and Daniel and so forth.
The Expanse is just one of the best sci-fi shows I've ever seen. Period. It's like Sue mentioned earlier, it does a great job with just the science of space for the nerds. But then it's got some of the best character development, some of the best storylines, and one of the beautiful things about it is it's such a diverse cast. Just from the jump, like they started this show and they made sure that they wanted to represent everybody. So it's not just like a bunch of white people and then like a black person and an Asian person just to have your tokens or whatever. Like this show actually represents what humanity looks like and what humanity would look like in a distant future in our solar system. And I without spoiling anything, just like start the first season. If you get through the first season and you don't like it, then something's wrong with you, and I'm sorry, and go get yourself checked out by a doctor. But I would say, but if you're like, it's such an easy show to get hooked into. The characters are amazing. I can't talk enough good stuff about this show. Like it makes me forget how to speak English. It's so fucking good. Go watch it.
I have the same issue whenever I watch episode 7 of Star Wars and see a couple of scenes of Jar Jar Binks. I start speaking like this, no problem. You know what I'm saying? So that thing. But I second that notion, and I'm gonna jump on that. I'm gonna in addition to The Expanse, which one of the things that it does massively is, again, this is Luke Skywalker. Mark Hamill described Star Wars as not science fiction but science fantasy, because it doesn't necessarily involve any type of actual science at all. So I mean, hence the two suns and the oxygen 2 on every planet. But this Expanse is like a realistic depiction, and one of the things I love the most about it is how they actually show how they can travel fast through space, but how it has a toll on the body. How there are people that are born in space, so that when they come on into gravity or in a realm where there's a sun, they're like, "Oh my god, like what is that shit? Like what?" Y'all have to deal with this sun shit every day, you know what I'm saying? And like they have to take pills so that they don't get sick in another atmosphere, and like growing up in another area where they speak broken English because they don't live on Earth, and how Martians have to live in domes. And there's just like they really go. It looks like a realistic depiction of what the universe or the solar system may look like in about 200 years. So I think that's dope. But I'm gonna say something different. For some reason, and I think that your partner may like this, Daniel, started watching Star Trek Prodigy this week.
Oh, really?
And it's a cartoon. It's for kids. Okay. It's rated Y7. All right.
Okay.
It's not my usual jam, but it's a dude of Star Trek, all things. I was like, let me give it a shot. Say at least I can review it, because we're doing a lot of reviews now. Yeah. They're taking off, by the way. Thank y'all so much. But I started it just so I could do a review with the intention of being like, all right, I want to see it so I could talk shit about it. Like, yo, don't watch this show. It's for teeny boppers. Yeah. But I ain't gonna lie, like this shit just got me into it. I'm like, oh shit, like yo, they're going warp speed already. Like, yo, they are doing cameos from the other shows and stuff. So I'm kind of in for it. So but Prodigy, I'm not gonna recommend it yet, but I'm checking it out. Steph, you checking anything out right now? That's any books, anything going on out there?
A friend highly recommended Station 11 on HBO Max. I watched the first 3 episodes, and it is slow and it is dark, and I do not recommend it. I may keep putting it on in the background while I'm working, but I'm not enjoying it. I'm like punishing myself at this point. So make your own choice about that. I
have to say that is very intriguing. I bet you the show is really good if Steph hates it. So I'm now very intrigued, and I'm probably gonna love it. So I'm gonna log off quickly so I can check it out. Yes. What you got, little mama man? You said you was watching Don't Look Up. Anything else? What's in your universe?
I saw Don't Look Up, and then I also I'm almost done watching The Last Kingdom, and all I can say is damn. If you guys haven't checked it out, please do. If you're a Viking lover, if you love the history, you know, of the Danes and Saxons just fighting and pillaging, it's refreshing. I mean, of course, it's gory. You know what I'm saying? Like it's bloody as fuck, but it's just it's a really good show. If you like the show Vikings, I definitely request you guys go and check it out. It's on Netflix right now. It's got 4 seasons, and I'm kind of like sad I slacked on watching it so much because like I've like literally just been nonstop watching it like whenever I can. So it's a great show.
And it's there are some historical facts. But Uhtred, just for the record, is not a real character. Yeah, at least they say that there may have been people like him, but he is a fictional character. But the world of which he exists with Wessex,
and Alfred and Athelstan and Ethelfled I can't with their names. Like, why is everyone Ethel? You know what I'm saying? Something like what the fuck? Like, why was that a popular thing back in the day? You know what I'm saying? Like Ethelwald, Ethelfled, Ethelred. Like, what the fuck were these people thinking?
Well, at least you got some ideas for when you and Austin have kids.
Stop your shit.
Yaz.
Definitely not.
All right, fine. Well, yeah, Daniel, we watching anything, reading anything? What's going on?
I've just been pretty much working, teaching, and then doing stand-up and raising my 1-year-old. So if it's not like Star Wars or Marvel right now, I just don't really have time. So.
Oh yeah, that's right. You do the whole parenting thing. Okay, yeah, that's an excuse.
On top of the other 2 jobs. Yeah.
Not just messing with you, man. Well, it's good to have you, man. Thanks for joining us. I'll say this one last show on the way out. I did also get a chance to watch this show called The Beforeigners. Now it's on Amazon Prime, if I'm not mistaken. And it's not it's in our wheelhouse because it does involve time travel. To an extent, but not like DeLorean get in 88 miles per hour time travel, just kind of time travel where what's happening is it's based in Norway. And there's this area that is basically taking folks from the Viking old way of Norse past and popping them up in modern day. So they're like people that are showing up. They don't speak English. They don't speak the modern Norway. They don't know what to do. They're out there building boats, catching fish. You know what I'm saying? Like it's crazy. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's really dope because they show how they would adapt in society. There's also like Renaissance people. There's cavemen. There's people came from the caveman days, and they're now assimilated. They call them timergrants. All right, and they say that they're foreigners because they're foreign. And then like the whole psychological aspect of this is our land, and they're like, bitch, we was here first. You know what I'm saying? Like there's people like go home, be foreigners. Like go where? Like back to the past. Like is you know what I'm saying? Like the way that they do it is fascinating. There's only 6 episodes per season. And it's on Amazon Prime. I thought it was an interesting watch. It's a quick watch too, only 30 minutes an episode, so it's about 3 hours per season. So if you have some time to kill, I thought that was dope. But other than that, man, we will be right back here next Saturday. Talk about the next. Yes, please go ahead.
Okay, sorry. So I forgot. My mom took me to go see the new Kingsman movie out yesterday.
Oh, okay.
All I have to say is don't eat during the movie.
Oh God.
Like don't.
You know, it's like half the shit they sell there, right? Sounds like half the shit they sell there.
I know. I'm just letting you know, like a meal, like you know how some of them like serve like a whole meal, like just like make sure you like stop eating it before like you get to like the halfway point, because you're not going to want to have any food in your system after you see what was going on. It was not that was got like you've seen Kingsman, you know what I'm saying? We've all seen Kingsman. We love it. That it was like, it's a prequel basically to the stories that we know. So it's like how Kingsman became like how it started and everything. Yeah. It's really great to watch. Like it was very, very interesting. I'm just telling you some parts though were very disturbing to watch though. Like I was like, I need to fucking get out of here. Like, I can't pause this shit and walk away. Like, what the fuck's going on? And like the guy next to me, he was like dying because of all of like, you know, me and my commentary. I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, my mom was like, literally like the two dudes next to us, they were just like kept looking at us like, these bitches are fucking hilarious. Like, cause it was just the commentary, just that's all I'm saying. If you can video yourself while watching this, please do, because that shit is like, your eyes are like, what the fuck is going on right now? Like,
I love that Yaz's idea is like, oh, people in this movie theater are loving my commentary. They're not.
Everyone else is like,
They don't love your commentary in the movie theater.
Like they, you know how like the end credit scene was? I was like ready to go. Like after seeing everything, I was like, okay, I'm ready to go. My mom's like, no, we gotta watch it. I'm like, nah, ready to go. The guys were just sitting there still laughing at my mom and I, like, and are just like, what the fuck did I just watch? Like I literally got up and said that to her and she was dying. Like they were laughing so hard. It was so funny.
Why do I get this vision of Yaz being asked for selfies after the movie? Like she was like,
let's just say I ran out of there because I didn't want any, like, even the people in front of me, they were turning around like laughing with me because they were like, yo, because I was just like, what the fuck, man? Like, can we stop this shit? Yeah, it was just watch it. It was a good movie, but I'm just letting you know, do not eat halfway through the fucking movie. Okay, the action on point. They even had like some dancing fighting scenes in that shit because, you know, like one of the it's Russian, you know what I'm saying? Like some people, they're from Russia, so they portrayed the culture and the fighting like a fucking amazing. I'm just letting you know, a little disturbing, just like a little bit. And for you guys, I'm just letting you know, when you see what I'm talking about, you'll definitely understand what I mean by it. Like, I was disturbed as a woman. Imagine how you guys would be as a man. Just saying.
All right. I just got context clues.
Yeah, because I know what happened to Rasputin in real life, so I'm thinking like, oh, that's gross.
No. Rasputin himself is just like, oh god. As soon as I saw him, I was like, oh god, this is gonna be interesting. So that's all I'm gonna say. I don't want to kill anything else. I don't want to add any more suspense to it. All I'm saying is, please watch it. It's streaming live in the movie theaters right now. It's the only way you can see it, or, you know, on Fire Stick, whatever. But go check it out. Let me know. Huh?
I think it's on Disney Plus.
No, it's not. It's Kingsman. That's a rated R movie. It's not on Disney Plus. I'm telling you, it's not on Disney Plus. It's in theaters.
There's rated R on Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Can we fact check this? Yeah, I think that the Kingsman is on Disney Plus.
Okay, yeah, well, Disney Plus, whatever, movie theater, watch that shit. Because all I'm saying is just like I said, don't eat halfway through. Like when you get to that 30-minute mark, stop with your food. That's all I have to say.
Well, hopefully, you know, I don't think they sell wings and ribs at most.
They do
theaters.
at the Cobb.
You don't throw up your
Taco Bell at the movie theater.
Taco Bell.
Well, no, at my movie theater that I always go to, they have like a whole like cafe inside of there, so you can order like, you know, hamburgers, nachos, whatever, the pizza, whatever the fuck you want, and then go and sit and like with a tray and like watch your movie and shit. Like, so you can like legit eat real food. You can go to the movie theaters and have real food while you're watching the movie at the movie theaters we have. But I'm just saying, like, if you are to watch that movie, just after, like, when 45 minutes gets, stop eating. When you see Rasputin, do not eat anymore. Just wait till that scene's done, because I'm telling you, you're gonna like.
It's probably a good thing that Yaz couldn't see that in our theater, because our theaters you can get drunk in. So could you
can get drunk in ours too.
Like, I was about to say, you see Yaz drunk on Rasputin.
Yeah, the whole thing, bro. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it was, dude. Yeah, I'm gonna have to watch it again, probably with some like alcohol in my system, you know what I mean? Because like some of the scenes I'm still replaying in my head, you know what I mean? But like, yeah, on the ride home, I was just looking at my mom like, what the fuck did you take me to go see? Like, for real. Like,
all right. Well, look, you're interesting. You have an interesting concept. I think I would be up for Mystery Theater Yaz 1000 if there was a thing called that. I would watch you do commentary. But, dude, what the fuck, bro? What the fuck is that shit, bro? Oh my god, I can't believe I ate. Like, dude, what the fuck, bro? Like, Austin, did you see that shit? Like, I could see how it could be appealing.
I threw my hands up and like stood up in the movie theater. I was like, I'm done. Like, I'm getting the fuck out. And my mom was just like the people next to us was just dying. They were just like, yo, because yeah, it was great.
I would have been the one giving you the Jerry Seinfeld half turn from the row in front of you. It would have been the.
I got those, but they were cracking up laughing. They were laughing with me, though. They weren't like mad. They were laughing with me. Like, they were like, yo, like they turned around. They were like, I'm telling you.
Yaz is in there. Listen, y'all hear this, man? Yaz is doing a set during the movie theater.
There's people booing and throwing shit, and she's like, they love me. They love me.
they don't like. It's the movie.
Well, you guys know me. You guys know me. I'm animated. So you know what I'm saying? Like some shit happens. I'm like, oh shit, you know, and like it's not just me, it's my mom. You know what I'm saying? Like we're both like done, and it's like both of us at the same fucking time. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was.
If I ever have to watch a movie with Yaz, I'm gonna turn right into a librarian. I'm gonna be over there.
He's literally, there's already this stereotype about black people at the movie theater, and Yaz brings the Latino version to the movie theater. It's all good, man. That's the New York in there. But anyway, yeah, man, we're here for it. We're gonna talk more stuff, but it's so important that you guys go and follow, subscribe that YouTube channel. That's gonna be our primary focus going forward, is our YouTube channel. Who knows? There might be a day when we stop doing live from any other outlet other than the YouTube channel. But for now, next week, like I said, it will be Facebook, it will be Twitch, and it will be YouTube only from the places that are called New Blurred Order. We will share our links so that you can see it from our pages, but then you watch it from the, and we hope that y'all will do the same thing. All right, make sure that you all will share this so that we can have a nice open conversation with Star Wars nerds and not so Star Wars nerds and other nerds of all different orientations and denominations, and we can break down why Tyrone is wrong about Boba Fett. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and say what's good to y'all, and peace out. So go and follow, like, share, and do what I always say, which is to be your authentic self. Do not be anything other than that. If you are, you being fake. And like I always say, in all things, make sure you let that geek flag fly. Hallelujah.
Fighter 2, I just really hate Zangief, only Ken and Ra. You, I find it hard to be Blanca, keep a wee ninja hanging and the uncle album banging. If you negative in energy, then stay out the vicinity. Yeah, them niggas over there. Yeah.